Big up, and welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show. I'm Liverpool 12th Man, and I'm joined today by the Irishman and Lee. Irishman, how are you doing today?
Very well, very well. Last game of the season in Ireland in the world-renowned Irish Premier League, which isn't what it's
Mm-hmm.
called, the Electricity Premier League. So yeah, there's a bit of a festival going on across the road at Waterford United. So sun is shining and there's football on. So
Okay,
what better night?
okay. Nothing better than that. Um, Scouse Lee, how are you doing today?
Good, yeah, I'm in a good mood, yeah.
Good. Look, everyone looks chipper. We can't see Brian, but still, we'll assume that he's chipper. um, And I hope that you guys are doing well out there in the chat as well. Mighty Red Army is always the thing to be. Trap Joe, Jimmy, Lee, how are you guys doing? Red for Life, how are you doing? Everyone,
Yeah,
big up to everyone in the chat joining us early in the 7 o'clock hour. Uh, shoot, there's some funny stuff going on with Liverpool in that I know that we've been talking about Gomez. We've been talking about getting in some center back help. People are all over the board when it comes to what what Edwards is doing with this group. I had a
this
quick question, real quick for you.
emergency meeting thing.
Yeah.
What's all that about?
Oh yeah, there's emergency meetings going on. It's all good,
Someone pulled
people.
a
I offered to put up Quasi's bail, so just in case for his, I don't want him going AWOL on his 20 kids. So I made sure that at least
21.
he can get out on bail. He's got something going on, I guess. Big up High Lord, big up Hash, big up. Good to see you. And big up Lee for sure. I think I said Lee, but if not, big up to you, Lee. Big up to Redbird. What I was getting into is
It's a good crowd.
and this has nothing to do with, like, I'm not getting into the John, into FSG or anything like that. But what I am getting into is I do have a question about Edwards. I saw a tweet and it made me and it was very interesting to see, because they were saying how, like, just get ready. This is Edwards' interpretation of what this squad should look like. He basically is coming back with a vengeance, in that he is like taking over this club and putting it in the form and shape that he wanted it to be initially, without the influence of a Klopp involved in it. And what I mean by that is that he's going to, the tweet went on to say, be prepared, or get ready to be prepared for Virgil, for Mo to leave, possibly even Trent to leave, because he wants to put his like stamp, or change this from the Klopp era team to a Edwards era team. I have two initial questions. Do you, one, have faith in his ability to do that? And two, are you all on board? Do you do you think that it's the right move to do, Irishman?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the guy that runs the football side of things is coming in and taking control of the football side of things. I suppose if I was a journalist, I would write it up as he is getting rid of all of Klopp's mistakes, and he's bringing his own thing to it. But him plus the guy Richard Hughes, who shouldn't be forgotten about. I know it's easy to talk about Michael Edwards for a lot of people.
Oh, I know. And yeah, let me put this
Yeah,
caveat, because I see Lee's comment. Like, I
exactly.
get
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Edwards is
yeah.
not necessarily making those decisions, but guess what? He is Hughes's boss. Period. There's no
Oh,
skating around it.
he's part of the team. He's part of
Right,
the team.
right,
You
right,
know,
right.
it's but definitely he runs the football operation, which is all football operations,
Right.
and Richard Hughes has specific control over Liverpool's football
Hmm.
operations. But
And I'm sure that
yeah,
they've discussed the vision of where and what they want to do with the clubs.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. These guys are on the same page, and they
Right.
work. Yeah, they work hand in hand, and they work in tandem, and they have clearly looked at what they need to do. And like I've been saying the last 2 nights, it's a new broom that's been getting a little bit bigger. It's a very big new broom, and there's an awful lot of clearing out of perhaps deadwood. Like, I mean, I said the two guys, I said Carvalho and I said Sepp Vandenberg. We went over it all summer long, and I stood up. I mean, I wouldn't be, I said I'll eat my hat if he's here on Sepp, and everyone was trying to break me down and say he has a place, he has this. I was like, no, this guy's here too long. He doesn't want these guys. They want, this is a whole new revolution. These are the kind of guys that are first on the chopping block. Him and Carvalho, I said they were the number two shop window guys in the preseason. They're both gone. So they're coming in and doing things that I expect them to do, but they're also doing a lot of other stuff, like lots of youth players going. They're doing, it's a real kind of root and branch stuff. And I'm all for all of that. I'm happy with that. I back Michael Edwards, I back Richard Hughes, I back Arne Slot, but until the other side of the coin is revealed, then it's hard to kind of, because it's very easy clear out, but until we see what the master plan is to replace these players and what we're going to do going forward, but it is I think someone said, look, it's bizarre almost to be sitting here and have not done anything for a lot of people. It is weird. We seem to be doing an awful lot of housekeeping, but I mean, we're still waiting on that new van to show up with the new suite furniture and the new TV and the new, we've gotten rid of all the old stuff, but we're still kind of waiting to see what's coming in. So yeah, until we see that, nobody can have a proper read on it, can they?
Yeah, Lee, I know that you have I know that you would like to probably get chime in on this one. How are you feeling about this new the start of this new regime, I guess you could call it, in the sense of the backroom staff?
Well, I like that they're gathering in money and they're making decisions on players, because it shows that there must be a plan there. We just need to know more about the plan, like who the plan incoming, as Brian said. But yeah, I'm excited with all the movement and the differences between Slot and Klopp. I was on Jamie Phillips' channel about an hour and a half ago, and like he was saying, Slot doesn't fancy Bajcetic as a 6. He sees him as an 8. I don't know where that news came from. Who Slot told this to? Like,
I can tell you where it came from.
That's the word around the campfire anyway. On Jamie's stream, the word around the campfire. Slot doesn't.
It's 3 letters and begins with A.
Yeah, so that's something different. He doesn't seem to fancy Endo as a 6 either. We know this. So he's recategorising all our players and ripping up the rule book, isn't he? Slot is like, what? Bajcetic isn't a number 6? Bollocks to that. I do actually think Bajcetic would be a good 8 in like the way that Genie was, that he was competent attacking and defending, disciplined, technical, could score a goal or two, like, you know what I mean? Because we know Bajcetic has got it in him. The way he dragged that one past the Villa players, like, and then just put it in with his left foot, while Tyrone Mings tried to stop him, was dead funny. Bajcetic was just
he's certainly a talented. He's got talent.
Yeah, I think he could be like, as dependable as what Genie was in that 8 position, like Bajcetic, but he could also play the 6, yes. So I don't know. We just don't know, do we? And it's exciting, isn't it? Like, it's exciting, all the intrigue and like what people's opinions are.
Right. As I asked this question because I mean, like, you're right about that. And again, there's been such a focus on the fact that we haven't brought in a player yet. I know today, for instance, as Hylor's putting into the chat here, we're going to go a little bit more into what Hylor is putting in the chat. But today Kwanzaa trained away from the team, but he picked up a little bit of, as you guys say, a niggle, I think, or a knock, basically, and now it's like, okay, well, we need depth. We need depth. It's going to be hard to go through a whole entire season or campaign with Champions League, which is a high intensity, format, even higher intensity format now with the new arrangement of games that we have to go through. It's going to be obviously we're going to have the FA Cup, the League Cup still to go through as well, and then we also have the league. So we have a bunch of games, a long season ahead of us, and everyone's like, we need depth, and all we're lately seeing is selling players, and selling a lot of our youth academy players, if that, which is okay. I understand, because a lot of times, these players will never necessarily make it to that level unless they're given the opportunity to grow and get the experience out on either loan or with another club or something, or even with this club. But the pathway towards that is a little bit jammed up right now, because we have some definitive players that hold down the number 1, number 2 spot, if not number 3 spot in the depth chart, if you want to call it that. So it's quite interesting. And it's like another thing, a report today, for instance, excuse me, a report today came out where it said Liverpool did try. This is a quote by Dave O.C. Cobb. Liverpool did try to make a late swoop for KK. I'm gonna say KK because I always screw up his last name. Until he's our player, that's when I'll focus in more on trying to pronounce it a little bit better. But in the end, yeah,
just go with Kava.
Kava, okay. So they made a swoop for Kava, but in the end ran out of time. This was looked at as an opportunistic signing. That's something that I think that this team does quite a bit of, if anything. They always look like, if there's an opportunity to sign a player, and despite the price, whatever it is, they'll make a concerted effort to try to bring in a player. That part I do like about the club. But in the end, they are very happy with the squad they have. This is going on with the quote. In the end, they are very happy with the squad they have. And this is going to maybe trigger some people, so you might want to earmuff the ears. The plan is to spend big next summer.
War chest.
Yeah, there's no war chest mentioned, but the plan is to spend big next summer. I know we've heard that quite a bit. But there was a report. This was reported about 5 hours ago by
It will be a ballsy move if they make us wait until next summer for signings and there's now in January. No, that'll be a ballsy move. That'll be testing people to the limit.
Yeah.
To the max.
This was by Pete O'Rourke. He is this is a report coming from Football Insider 24/7, and it says Liverpool are considering a sensational late window move for long-term target Kava or KK from Napoli. It's a difficult deal to do as Napoli want to keep him, but the Georgian has been on Liverpool's radar all summer. Do you think that maybe, and this is something I mentioned yesterday, with the kind of stockpiling of the money that we've been getting from a lot of these sales? Do you think that a late window, big name late window attempt for like KK or for a player that we would like to see? I think both me and Brian would like to see, like a Bastoni. That's kind of died down. I haven't seen that name been mentioned as late. No. But do you think that we could go into this window, late into the window, and try to snag someone like that? I'll go with you, Lee, first, and then I'll go to Irishman. Lee, what are your thoughts on that? And tell us in the chat if you think if that's a player that you would be interested in going for, and like what would be the number that you would like to to spend on him to make it happen?
Are you talking about Australia?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, I'd spend about I think 80 would be about a safe gamble on him. £80 million sterling, because like players from them places are fairly uncertain in the Premier League. I don't recall that many hits coming from those countries. There's been one or two, but in general, they tend to turn up and bomb and die on their arses, players from them countries. But we'll see.
Okay. How about for you, Irishman?
Could I see us getting him? No. Plays in the wrong position for us, that where we need somebody. If he played on the other side, yes. He's too predominantly left-sided, and the player I'd love us to bring in, but not without us losing a Diaz. If we lost Diaz to Barca, okay, I could see it, but no, absolutely no chance. I'm
a fan of his.
Yeah, big player, great player.
The Premier League, I just don't know whether his skill would translate into Premier League form. I just don't know. It's a gamble. Yeah. That's a gamble, that one. But most are a gamble, aren't they? Like?
Well, yeah. Like I'm fine with the next summer thing, because like a lot of my thinking kind of aligns with their thinking, and their thinking probably is next summer we replace Mo and we replace Virgil. Is what they're saying, because they're both of them have a year left. Well, yeah, big, sort of. What's the word? No shit. I know, but I know that. But what I'm saying is, like, it's kind of a no shit Sherlock kind of situation. If they're expecting the two of them to leave, then yeah, damn right, you're going to be spending big next summer. So I can understand the thinking behind that. Is that it's like sort of, we'll bring in Ali and Virgil when we can bring them in, but we're going to bring them in. If it's like next summer is the perfect time, because this squad, we know it's not that far off. It's not a million miles off. So if next summer, if you do one thing this summer, which hopefully we've yet to do, and then it will be next year is actually when, no, that's when Liverpool are, no, I know everyone, I can imagine certain people's heads exploding at me saying this and hearing this, or not that my opinion matters, but that, they wait a year and then they spend the big money. That's what FSG always say. But I can understand the thinking about it. We don't need to spend 400 million this summer, but if Mo and Virgil leave next summer, then we're definitely going to have to be spending big money. And maybe we're not going to do it this year. We're going to wait until next year to do it. I mean, I can easily put those pieces together in my mind and see what the idea is, but you would like those, just one or two maybe things before that. That's all. But I can totally understand the thinking behind spending the big bucks next year. I can understand that, but I don't know. Does anybody really want to hear that?
Right. Does anyone really want to hear that?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's a great platform to run on, Next summer FC, yay! I mean, no, I don't think I'm getting elected on that one. I don't think I'm winning it.
Well, there is also there is like some camps out there that do see us. There's some people out there that do see us possibly making a deal or making some type of a deal.
I say one. I'm still saying one. I still think we do one. I still have my fingers crossed that we get one done. And my guess is a defender. But yeah, I still think January and then next summer. But hey,
you're still under the. Okay, I'm about to say.
I still think we're going to get one. Yeah, I still think we'll get one. We'll get something done. Yeah.
But it's moved to more so January for.
No, one in summer, one before the window closes, and then maybe we might do something in January. But yeah, the big plans, the big thing is going to be next year. So.
Okay. Yes. Okay. We're done, I guess. Yeah. So I was also going to. I was also going to bring up this too, because this is something that has been spoken on too. And I'll bring in some of the. Before I do, I'll bring in some of the chat's comments as well. Yes, Hyler's bringing up the fact that Trap just said next summer. Which summer? Ours or the southern hemispheres? I got you. Hyler says we all know that Salah, Trent, and VVD's contract run out this summer or this upcoming summer. But did you know that also Nat Phillips, Tyler Morton, and Yaros's contracts also run out next summer? I did know about Nat Phillips. Tyler Morton, I believe they will take care of, and I think that they will certainly take care of Yaros's deal because I think they have high hopes on Yaros. Big up to Ian, by the way. Big up. Hope that you're doing well, Ian. And hello to Cedric as well. Hope Cedric's getting in the work for this TGIF so he can enjoy his weekend.
Do you think there's any chance John W. Henry is a fan of the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise?
Maybe. Burnett asks, do any of the new senior management get a signing fee? We have recruited a lot. I don't know about that one, Bernie. I'd have to do some investigation about that, but don't know about that one. I will find that out for you. I'll do my best to find that question out. I'm going to star that so I can remember too.
Question: do any new senior man get a signing fee?
We have recruited a lot of people. Hyler asked a question here. Here comes the 1,000-pound question. I have heard this story before because what did they say when Autumn left? How long did it take to replace him? That's a very good point. It took a while. I mean, Ginny was someone though that I don't think not many of us had as being an irreplaceable when he was coming in from Newcastle.
We ever did replace him on midfield.
No.
He stood a game once he left.
Yeah. Tough to replace. The player that played at Newcastle was not the player that we got. You know, he played left wing, right wing, midfield. You know, he played everywhere.
You'd almost say the system made him a better player.
Oh yeah, like Klopp turned him into the best version of that kind of press resistant, ball retention type midfielder, and he was a bit of a one-off, really, Genie, and the whole thing. Yeah, we need a new Genie. We need a new this. We need that. It's like, look, they're gone, man. Bring in the next something, not another. You'll never find another Genie. You'll never find another Miller.
He was a much more attacking midfielder at Newcastle, wasn't he?
Oh, he got 15 goals, I think. He or 12 goals in the league. He top scored for them, I think. The season they got relegated, and then we bought him for big money. And because we did this, it was like, I think it was the third relegated player that we bought. I think we bought Robertson when he was relegated. We bought Wijnaldum when he got relegated. I think we bought someone else when he got relegated. You know, and it was kind of like real, like kind of showing off. Like they can pick a player from a relegated club and make them one of the best players at one of the best clubs. That was a real kind of transfer flex that they had, I thought. You know, it was like if Liverpool buy a player from a relegated club, you can guarantee yourself he's probably an underrated world-class gem type thing. But trying to think, does anyone know who the other one was? Did we get Shaqiri after he was relegated? Maybe was he another one?
I think he was.
Did we do that?
I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to double. I did some check. So I also want to let me do that too. Say Jimmy goes, contracts need to be sorted to at least let the fans know where the squad stands and to get an idea of what deals be made. No contracts, no signing breeds negativity in the fan base. I agree with that.
100%,
I agree with that.
100%, Jimmy. 100%.
I will say this much though. I will say though, I don't mind not knowing as long as you're getting the things done. You know, if there a lot of the times a lot of these deals were made and we didn't know about any of these deals like being even in the works sometimes, but they got done. That's the case, cool, but we're not getting any deals done other than selling players. So that's what's got the fan base, I think, really in uproar. Ian says, I think once the window is out the way, then the club can focus on the contract renewals, hopefully before the end of 24. I'd love all three, Trent, Burge, and Mo, to renew. I would too, by the way. I'm looking at giving Trent a big deal in the sense of making him obviously like a top 3 earner in the club, and extending Verge and Mo's deal and increasing. Obviously, you would probably have to increase their cash on their deal a little bit, but increasing their deal by 2 years each, so they'd have 3 years left on their contract for me, including this year plus an additional 2. Personally, that's what I would like to see happen. Nat Phillips needs to, yeah, he does need to. He's going to get one more preseason out of his contract. Trust me on that one. Hyler asks also, do you remember what happened when Lovren left? They did not replace him either, and we went into serious problems excuse me, with the massive defender injury crisis. Nat Phillips and Reece Williams were heroes. I get that. Lovren isn't like necessarily a Lovren's like a
Lovren. I distinctly remember Klopp saying, "Oh, Fabinho can play the position anyway," and then all of a sudden there was no defenders left, and there wasn't even any Fabinho and Henderson. Even they were injured a lot that season to fill in.
the injuries though that we got hit with were just kind of like they weren't necessarily like, how can I put this? I mean, like, not many clubs go through an injury crisis like that.
Happen again. It could happen again. You've got to be
I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying it can happen, but I'm saying that the likelihood of it happening.
It's not really about that one, though. But that's where this all shit started, is where I think all this shit that people say now, I think that's where all this, because everybody was lauding Michael Edwards and lauding our transfer business and how good we were. I think like the first one was like obviously after the Champions League when we only brought in Sepp and Adrian, and then that business was the first kind of the first murmurings of FSG are talking shite. They're not actually planning to. They're not prepared to spend money. We obviously really need a defender, and they're not doing it. I think that's where is where a lot of this stuff kind of started off first, because I always find this stuff like I get the FSG shit, but when Edwards came back, I was genuinely taken aback by the negativity towards it, because I remember everyone being devastated when he was leaving, saying, "Oh well, when he leaves now, that's our transfer guy gone," and all of that. And I was very, not disappointed, but I was just, like I said, I was taken aback at how much the negativity was towards him, and I suppose a lot of it was fed into that issue that he had forced Klopp out, which is clearly nonsense. But yeah, I just think it was kind of weird. Like, this guy was one of the best in the business, and now people are like, "Oh, that guy, it was him that stopped Klopp buying all the players he wanted." This kind of stuff has come about. Mm-hmm. So when people see us saying, "Oh, we're not buying new players," I think this is what you always look back to, that kind of period. Look, when we only got Kabak on loan. It's like, yeah, because there was no top players available in January, so we loaned a few half decent ones so we could send them back when we didn't want them anymore, when our players were fit. And yeah, okay, we didn't go out and drop 80 million on a world class centre half in January. Yeah, cool, we didn't. But I think that's where a lot of it comes from. We could have done better. Like, no one can say we shouldn't have bought anybody after the Champions League final. We could have invested more then. That was a poor one, but Hughes and Edwards.
I was not one of the people who was annoyed at the time when we didn't after winning the Champions League, because the mood I was in was like, yes, we've won the Champions League.
Yeah,
I wasn't that bothered, to be honest. I was just so happy. But looking back, it was a mistake not to add at that point. But there you go. Hindsight's a wonderful thing,
There's a funny one out there that was being asked too, real quick. Is that if we were to get, let's say Lucho was, let's say Barcelona figured their finances out, they come in, they buy Lucho, right? They acquire Lucho. Now we have a left wing situation where we either stick with Cody Gakpo as our left wing, as our main left wing, or we go out into the market. Would you take? I'm gonna ask the scouts there on the panel here first. Would you take KK or Anthony Gordon?
Oh, I don't go near Anthony Gordon. Like, wouldn't touch him with a shitty stick. I would not touch Anthony Gordon with a shitty stick. But
Okay.
Kvaratskhelia, yes, I would use sexy, silky gloves like to handle him, mate. Like, I'd be like, yes, come in here. No shitty stick for you, boy. No shitty stick for you. But Anthony Gordon, yeah, I'd be like, get away from our ground, will you?
Have a look at your WhatsApp, eh?
Okay.
Have a look at your WhatsApp.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, I would take. Oh God, yeah, I'm not taking Gordon. If we lost Diaz tomorrow, that's when, like I was saying earlier on, would we be in for Cava? Excuse me. I was like, nah, not in. We've got Gakpo, got Diaz. That's not going to happen. But if you lose him, yeah, I am not.
It's not a priority for me.
Yeah, no, but if it was one or the other, then there's no question. There really isn't. You know,
they're not even comparable. Like their skill level, Kvaratskhelia has got lots of skill. Anthony Gordon can run fast sometimes. It's about the best way to describe his wing play.
Oh, I see Klopp in I see Gordon in a Klopp type team, maybe in a kind of a classic type Klopp team. Now I don't know. Maybe he could be. Maybe he would be brilliant for Pep Guardiola at City. Maybe he could do all that. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
It was one of those things that popped up on the internet. I saw it and I was like, "Oh, KK all day." I get that. I get the connections. That's why I was just asking. You know, maybe because he was a Scouser, that you like you bring him in. But I mean, the fact that he did play for Everton, the fact that he did
if he was good, I'd be amazed off like that he was a Scouser. It'd be a Scouser, but like he isn't. Yeah. So I'm not having him, like, you know what I mean, as an option myself.
Yeah.
Lambert's mate. Lambert.
I just always assumed he was Scottish. You know, he looks like a Scot. Like he looks like he was born on the Outer Hebrides. Like he's got a face for fishing on the North Sea.
Face for fishing.
And he got Gordon.
What is a face for fishing? Does anyone in the chat know what a face for fishing is?
You can imagine him out on a trawler. Couldn't you imagine him out on a trawler on the North Sea, out in the northern, up in the north of Scotland?
Yes, but I could also imagine him on a broomstick with like a witch's hat on and warts on his face. He's got one of them looks to him, like a a witch's hat and a broomstick and his black shawl.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Like a wart on him.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
I wanted to bring up something that Brazzi brought up too. He asked for thoughts on Harvey Blair leaving on a permanent transfer. I did see the fact that he did just do his promotional meeting the club thing where he actually met the actual club that he's with now. Pompeii, by the way, is the club that he's with, or Portsmouth, basically. Portsmouth FC.
Pompey.
Pompey.
Pompey. That's a tough town. Don't ever go there. That is a rough town, man. But what was someone said? Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I misread the question. Sorry. But no, JK. JK, I've sent it on there. I don't know if JK is watching, but I've sent you the link, man.
It says nothing against Blair, neither as he is a very good player, but the harsh reality for youngsters at an elite club is that it's unlikely they will make a breakthrough. We went through the percentage of players.
300 grand. 300 grand. It's basically a free. It's almost kind of a nominal fee, isn't it? 300 grand.
Yeah, it was like 300,000. Yeah, it was about. It was a little bit over 300,000. A little bit over.
He must have very little time left on his deal or something. Maybe. Yeah, that's a very low. I mean, these days, that's almost nothing, really.
It is. It really is. But then again, it is like it's a case where like
Ramon.
I don't think there's that much of a test case for Harvey Blair to demand more than that, to be honest
No,
with you.
I'm just thinking he can't have much left on his deal, maybe, or it's close to being able to walk away or something. Because even then, we'd probably try and snag 2 million.
That I don't
You're
know.
going to
I
get,
don't know
yeah.
what his contract.
Yeah,
is.
But no, it's fine. No, it's cool. He's gone. He's moved on. Fair play to him. Good luck to him.
Now, what it's better getting this
Yeah.
money now than ending up with nothing like this fee now.
Yeah.
Keep your options on him. Get your buybacks. Keep your tabs on him.
It says here it was 300,000. So it's Harvey Blair to Portsmouth is now done deal. Liverpool will receive an initial fee of 300,000 K for the winger, which could reach 600,000 with add-ons. There's also a 20% sell-on clause negotiated with the deal, as according to James Pierce. 20% is a pretty high number when it comes to actually a sell-on clause. So that's decent business. I liked Harvey Blair. I thought Blair played decent. There were like little hints of Jaden Dan's. I just think that maybe this club saw it that Jaden Dan's had a closer chance of making a run for getting first team, appearances than Harvey Blair. And again, I don't think that they are willing. Maybe also Harvey wasn't willing, possibly, to continue to go out on loan while he sits and waits and hopes that an opening opens up. It seems like this club tends to go out and purchase their strikers when it comes to getting some type of acquisition going on for.
The chances, like you were saying earlier, like the chances of like any player making it is tiny, but the chances of actually a number 9, a guy that's in the business, like the top end of the pitch type guys, that's even rare.
Exactly.
You have to be, like what's a coach going to do? Oh, we want you to win the league, but we also want you to use 18-year-old strikers. They're going to go out and buy a guy. So, yeah, that's so hard. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. Not a bad club to go to.
There was another question for you, Lee. Here is from Bernie. She asked, "How about Brathwaite, Lee? He's a
Lee's a big Brathwaite fan. He's a big Brathwaite fan.
I'm kindly disposed towards the idea of Jared Brathwaite walking in the door. Yes, left-footed as well, which I like.
Despite playing as a blue.
Oh no,
taking one of their boys.
Get a player in the door. Remember Barnby come in and that was a good one when Barnby come in and he scored in a derby not long afterwards, which was great. No, that wouldn't bother me at all as long as we could get him in the door. It means nothing to me, mate. As long as we could get him in the door. And I do like him, and he is English and all that crap. Not that that's particularly important when we're buying a centre back. I don't think at the moment. I think we've got enough homegrown players now to not be worried.
No, that's not a problem. Not a problem.
That being said, the fact that he's Premier League proven is a good one, but he's only recently Premier League proven. He's not like long-term Premier League proven.
Okay, here's a question, and it's for everybody, and it's just straight up one-word answer for everybody. The chat, for Lee, for 12 man. Gahey or Brathwaite? Just a one-word answer. We can let it run. Doesn't have to be just Gahey or Brathwaite.
I would go Brathwaite.
Lee?
I'll go Brathwaite with him being left-footed.
Chat?
Yeah.
So we'll wait for the chat, and we can let the chat go and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So it's 2. It's 2 so far for Brathwaite. It's 4. It's 5. Okay, I think that's the first Gahey is red for life. So yeah, it's already 5-1 to Brathwaite at the moment.
I don't mind taking. I mean, Gordon is a former player for Everton, so it wouldn't be taking an Everton player. It's taking a Newcastle player. I wouldn't mind taking. I wouldn't mind taking one of Everton's gems away from them. Exactly. Absolutely would love
that. Exactly.
Funny players off Everton. It's funny.
Oh yeah, no, that's the good bit.
Like when we got Barnby, he had a bag top on. Right. Remember Houllier addressed it like when they went, "How can you sign for Liverpool?" And Houllier went, "What are you on about? Like it's a football team."
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong at all with taking a player they don't really want to sell, especially like a young Evertonian player. Well, he's not an Everton, but a younger player Yeah, that's good. That feels good, to take, imagine them taking Kwanzaa from us. Do you think they care that he was from Liverpool? They'd be
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
we took one of your
No,
good players.
no, they would love it. They
So
would hold it in your
if we
face.
were buying, Michael Keane, then we'd have a problem. Then we would have a problem, yeah.
Thing is,
Because a
players
lot of
like
people wanted Onana, didn't they? Sorry,
massive
Lee, but a
Everton
lot of people
players
wanted
in their
Onana.
history, like in Everton's recent successful history, massive players like Kevin Sheedy, Alan Harper, Dave Watson, all played for Liverpool before they played for Everton, but they weren't signed as big stars. They
Yeah, that's the
passed
thing.
off
Is
to
it's
gone
all
to other clubs and then gone there. Or in Sheedy's case, went straight there. But
crossing
there
the
were great
divide kind
Liverpool
of thing.
players who turned up being Everton fucking legends, like even Alan Harper. Alan Harper was quite good. He was like dead good in our B team, but he couldn't get in like the proper team. Went to Everton. He was quite a good midfielder. Him.
Would you do a swap deal for since I just saw?
Oh, Joey G.
Would you do a swap deal for Gomez and Brantwaite?
Oh, yeah, I'd do that. Yeah, to get the left foot. The left foot is what I'm after. I want to have balance in the centre back options, or a bit of balance, because it would be three right and one. Proper balance would be two of each, but 3 and 1 is better than 4 and none, in my opinion.
That's how numbers work.
Mm-hmm.
They'd want money. They'd want Gomez and 20 or whatever. I don't know what they want, but they'd want Gomez plus an amount of cash for Brantwaite. And then you'd have to convince Joey to go there as well. So, I mean, it's a club that's in turmoil at the moment. Might be taken over. Could be cool in a couple of weeks, but at the moment, who knows? Text store, the guy at Palace is looking to sell up his stake in Palace and take over there completely. So it could be a club on the up in a few months' time. So if you said to me Joey Gomez and he was happy to go there and say 15 to 20, and you get Brantwaite, if he's as good as everybody seems to think he is, not seems to think, that sounds wrong, but it feels he might be, then yeah, cool, no problem. I wouldn't be doing the same. No, and I'd do the same deal for Gahey as well. I'd happily do the same deal for Mark Gahey.
Okay. Let's see. This is another thing I was going to bring up too here. I saw Norm said he would take neither, by the way. And big up to Norm.
Yeah.
Hello. And
did anyone survive? Anyone survive last night? No survivors last night, Norm, no? Did you leave anyone able to walk home or drive home? Oh, okay.
Big up to Alexander. Big up to Nalante joining us as well, of course.
Yeah.
Nalante. Big up. So this is a question I had as well. I know it's a little bit of a I'll bring up the large take of it. But there have been rumors about this man, this particular man right here. Kostas Tsimikas is eyeing up a potential return to Olympiacos. Would you be open to letting the defender go? Are you open to seeing possibly Tsimikas go? And would that possibly, in your mind, make it less of a priority to see Gomez leave as well? Maybe Gomez then takes on the second left back role and continues to play the utility role for you. Brian, or what's your thoughts on this? And then Wesley.
Oh, if both of them go, you're absolutely taking the piss. Yeah. I mean, if both of them were to leave without not some 18-year-old kid from Argentina or some, then we'd need a proper replacement straight away. It's like, no, that's what we're doing. It's Hincape, it's this guy, it's that. Yeah, the two of them to go would be crazy. I'm more than happy for Tsimikas to leave if we get a good price, because he's Simi. He's never nailed down the spot. He's good, but I mean, he's our backup left back. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. He's had a nice run here, but yeah, you couldn't let him go and then let Gomez go without something. It was what am I looking? 23rd of August. It's all getting crazy. If we were to sell two more now, because I was saying last night, yeah, there's a lot of talk about all these guys that we're selling, but how many minutes and how many games did they play in the Premier League last season? How many first team games? How many? Most of them didn't. A lot of them, some of them weren't even at the club. They were out on loan. So the only now we would be getting into actual first team squad shit if we were to sell these two guys and not replace them. That would be worrying. So I can see both of them going. I can see, yeah, that's weird actually because I can totally see Simi going and I can see Gomez going, but I can't see both of them going. So yeah, that's a bit of a weird one. That's a bit of a head scratcher actually. I'd keep Gomez, I suppose. If it was made up my own question, who would I keep? I'd keep Gomez if one of them had to go, because Joey can do it the other side as well in the middle. But yeah, it is getting a bit weird now, just selling everything.
Yeah, it would be weird if that happens. Brazi asked if a question here where he says, let's see if I can find the question he asked. Just saw it. Says, what 12? What if Joey G does go, and there are zero signings at all? I really don't think that there'll be zero signings. I think that we will get something done this year, meaning, or I should say, this campaign. As in, I am under the pretense of thinking that I do think we are going to sign someone in this window, but I also think that there is the likelihood of it going on and being like, okay, well, maybe we don't have, maybe we do like kind of sit firm with this squad. We see what they can do, and we reassess in January if necessary. If there is something that we need to have done, like what Lee spoke on in previous episodes. And that's true. That's very true. You know, we did pull some deals off at deadline. You know, we got Gravenberch on deadline day last year. We did pick up also. We did pick up Endo relatively late as well, because I mean we got involved in the Casado deal very, very late in the window. So I mean there are I know sometimes we've gotten used to FSG or Liverpool taking care of business early. Not so much this time, but I think that the playing field has somewhat adjusted the way that we look at signings, especially during this particular window, because of all the the Europa, the Copa, the Olympics. It made it very, very difficult for you to really get it made the window very, very small for you to get a lot of these signings done. And it also meant like you had to you probably had some work, you probably put in some work, but I mean before that, but there is a period when you can actually speak to the players, actively speak to the players. If they're under contract, you're not really supposed to be talking to them. So, we've already had a couple of those cases happen where we've spoken to players before we were allowed to, quote unquote, and it's come back to bite us. But now that I have your answer on Simicast, I had a interesting thing I saw also on. I'm gonna give this. We can give this area here is basically our squad. I'll show you our squad. Since we're all talking about the squad and the depth and everything else, I'll bring up this as being an introduction, or not sure, but make it bigger for you. So we got Ali, we got Kelleher in goal. I don't know why this guy has Nat Phillips in to back up Virgil on the left side, but he has Nat Phillips on the side. Yeah, right. Yeah. He has Simicast and Robbo on the left, Bradley and Trent on the right, Kwanzaa and Kanate as the right center backs. you look at our midfield, it has Jones, McAllister, Dom,
Who else are you going to
Elliott.
put in there?
What's happened to Joe Gomez?
You could have put
Was
Joe
he bench
Gomez.
gold in this?
No, I'm just thinking if he's doing the whole Gomez is out of the squad and left out, I mean, that just shows you how short we are. Like that,
Yeah.
if there's no Gomez, the next kind of name he could throw in just to make it two was Nat Phillips. Like, I mean, if that don't set alarm bells ringing,
Yeah,
No,
it
that's
does,
true.
man. It does.
That's true. Maybe that's the reason why he did it this way. Obviously, our midfield is that with Endo. He has Bichetic as a third option, and Grav as the first. Jones, McAllister, Dom, Elliott, Ben Doak, Salah. I mean, if anything, I would look at the right wing position, right wing as being a question mark too. Diaz, Hackbo, and he has Diego and Nunez up front. I'm seeing what Norm says. Says even though I think we need a center half and a midfielder, I will be glad to see end of window. So I will be glad to see the end of the window so we can finally concentrate on the season. Window in season is a distraction. I agree with that too. It'll be Nat Phillips and Nalo. Yeah, Nalo would be someone that you would see possibly get a start here or there. I think we'll see Nalo when it comes to cup competitions. We'll see him as a player that gets put onto the bench, depending on what we get in this transfer window.
like I would change that if I was being like if that was my thing and I was trying to predict what the squad will be,
Mm-hmm.
I would take out Bajcetic because I think he's going to get loaned.
Mm-hmm.
I would put in Trainioni because I think he's in the squad.
That's a shout. Right for Life just said the same thing.
Yeah, I would take out Doak because it looks like he's leaving as well, and I'd just leave Salah there on his own just to pinpoint that we do need something there as well. And I would leave everything else kind of the same, and hopefully we'd be able to take out Nat Phillips and put in a Hincape, that other guy from Sporting. What's his name? That dude. I've forgotten his name. Ignacio, yeah, whoever it might be,
Ignacio.
50 million pound centre half in that Nat Phillips little spot there, and yeah, hopefully we don't lose Simi because Gomez might go because we need two left backs. You need two of everything, especially at full back. You need to be able to rotate. I just love Trent and Bradley. I absolutely love the fact that we have those two at right back.
Right.
One of the best we've seen in the league probably ever from a creative standpoint, and also just generally being a pretty good defender as well. Not a Maldini, no, but an unbelievable game-changing type of fullback. And then Bradley as well, who looks like, he just looks like he was born to play for us. No fear. Walked into the team, started banging in goals and assists. Brilliant.
Well, I was going to ask this. I was going to ask this to transition from this. This is what this is also something that kind of piqued my interest. I saw this as being an option. Looking at that midfield, if you could in the chat, please tell us what midfield would you go for with these four options that are given. What midfield would you go with these four options given? I tend to think that I know what answer is going to be made, but what's the options that you would go for in the chat if you're looking, and I'll ask the panel too, but what's the strongest midfield did you believe is the midfield, and are you confident? Are you confident too? Because that's what we're looking at basically. This is basically what we probably will be seeing is with one of these four options as being the option that we go with. And do you think, I'll ask the panel, I think that, yeah, I was pretty sure that this certain number that's tending to show up is going to be the option that most people will go with. Do you want to give first? Would you like to give your option, your choice, Irishman? what would be your option? And are you confident that midfield can do that midfield can do the work to put us in a position to contend for a title? I know it's a
Two is
team game,
hilarious.
everything else. I know that, but I'm just saying for the midfield.
Yeah.
Just
Two, yeah, 2 is hilarious. It really is. I mean, I love 2. Could you imagine us going to Man United and leaving Dom and Mac and Grava on the bench and Slot going, yeah, these are my boys. These are my boys. Yeah, that's even.
I mean, there's
some nice
an
combos.
argument. There's an argument for one. There's definitely an argument because I mean, because then you could have Grava in that pivot.
One is okay. One is fine. One is
maybe play with like swap in and out of the 10-roll Maka and
look, 2 would work. 2 would work in a game against a decent, like you end up in the more defensive role, Jones in the more kind of box to box role, and then Elliott in the 10. That's going to work. That's a good team. Someone just said it. Alex said it. Like 2 is good still.
Mm-hmm.
But as our Premier League side, yeah, it's the one that I've been saying. Everyone's been saying.
I mean, we've seen 2 work. Let's not get.
It's 3. But you're saying your question was, could it win us the Premier League and will carry us all the way and all of that? That has to be that.
I think Red for Life has it correct. Yeah. I think Red for Life. That's a good shout. Red for Life.
It is. Yeah. No. 2 for cup games. 2 for. Well, no, you see, we don't have UEFA Cup games now. Yeah, so say maybe we were home and hosed in the Champions League thing, whatever it might be, not group stage, but in a dead rubber, as it were. They would all work. Maybe 4 would be a bit clunky. 4 might be a bit clunky actually, but I think 3 is your PL starting 11. Week in, week out. They're not sitting on the bench type guys. So yeah, I'm going with 3.
Okay. This is fun questions that we're dealing with here. Definitely some fun questions. There's another fun question I have here. I'll bring this up here. This got asked. This got sent to me for some reason. I don't know why, but someone asked me this question. I'll have to chat in the question to the panel real quick too. Oh, Lee, I don't know if you want to give your number. What was your option? What was your option that you want to go with, Lee?
Yeah, I'm not feeling number 2 as much of a one like Curtis Elliott and Endo. That one's lame. Number 1, yeah. Number 3 and 1 are all right. Yeah, number 4 is all right. It's only the number 2 that I don't like. That is number 2, that one. Endo with Jones and Elliott. Just ain't enough there, is there? Like,
yeah. Big up, Norm. Thank you very much for the help on trying to encourage some people to go and give us 1 sub away from 400. Definitely appreciate it. 4 is the worst out of the 3. Oh wow, I didn't expect that one. That's interesting. 4 is the worst out of the.
As I said earlier on, it's clunky. Like 2 actually probably works a little bit more.
I just think you can get more. I think you can get more defense. You can get more of the defense out of Dom.
Well, it's basically Elliott or Dom. It's Elliott or Dom, So it's who do you want in the number 10?
That's why I was interested to see that someone would say something like that. Here's a fun one for you guys. Here's a fun one. If you had to re-sign one of these players to join the club, which of the 4 players would you ask? This is like in their prime. Let's not talk about like not now. It's not like we're saying, to ask Bobby to give up his Christian work in Brazil or something like that. If you had to bring one of the 4 players in their prime, like as in in the way that you remember these 4 players, which of these 4 players would you say you'd like to sign to our club? I thought this was a fun question.
Given that we are struggling like shit to find a defensive midfielder Fabinho would be the only sane option, surely. Like,
Okay.
what does the other three wear? Like, we're not in need of a Bobby, a Mane, or a Gini. What we are in need of is a Fabi, a new Fabi. So replace him with the old Fabi. Let's get that time machine on the go.
Oh, okay. We're talking about in their prime then.
Yeah.
Like not now. Not
not
like
now.
tomorrow.
Not
oh,
now.
so in their prime. Oh, okay, cool. Sorry,
Yeah.
I missed the first bit. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's easy. Yeah.
So who's your easy answer?
Oh, like Lee said, we need a DM. So yeah, get Prime Fabinho in.
Okay.
The others
Love
would
them
be
all, mate. Love them all.
amazing. But
yeah, we need it.
yeah,
We need a DM.
I mean, there's a lot of
For
different
this team.
answers going on in the chat. That's why because there's these 4 players bring distinct. I mean, they're all beloved legends of the club, but they bring some guaranteed qualities that could certainly enhance our club at the moment.
Well, that's it. Like you're talking about 4 legends. So, but if you can only sign one for this,
you can only sign one
team,
though, right? You can only sign one.
See, that's the whole time. So you can only pick one of them. So we have a Gini in Mac and Szoboszlai, and all our midfielders. We have a Mane in our Diaz. Obviously, like not going to go down that road. We have left wingers. So what is this team crying out for? Is a DM. So it would be Fabinho. Like I take. Jesus, I mean, if it was like, which player are you just taking at your peak, regardless of the team's scenario? Probably Bobby, but that's just being then you get into your person. But I think the best fit for this team right now, as good as obviously all the other 3 are, I think he would improve our team probably the most. Or Mane, maybe. Or Mane.
I mean,
you get 30 goals out of Mane.
Let me first. Let me bring in JK. Say hello to JK people. What's up,
Bless,
JK?
bro. I'm all good, bro. Hope you guys cool.
Okay.
Good.
Easily, Brian.
TGIF, man. It's TGIF. We're going to show. I'm going to bring in. So let me bring in the. I'm going to make this big screen again so we can get the full vision of it. And the chat was saying, because I thought the chat's got some valid points, Norm says Jones is
everyone's points are valid.
No, my fault. He said Alexander said Mane, because I know a lot of people aren't necessarily, for what you get on left wing from Diaz. Some people would like to see, better quote unquote end product and all that. Mane would certainly bring some of that. Bonkers said Gini. Okay. Because I think, there's a lot of people that thought Gini was one of the most
Yeah, I did. There's a case to be made for all 4. A brilliant case to be made for all 4. It's just the whole DM thing that made me choose Fabinho. Like, otherwise, I may not have.
12 man. Can I answer this differently, right? I'm going to answer different. I'm going to say, right, the only one of those 4 that I wouldn't put into our team tomorrow is Gini. I would put.
Oh, wow.
I would put peak Fabinho in. I would put peak Mane in, and I would put peak Bobby straight back into our team. The only one I wouldn't put in, I'd take probably a McAllister over Gini. But all of them at their peaks, the 3 of them, I would put directly into our team tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. Okay.
I agree with him.
Okay.
I agree with him. 100%.
Ian says Mane. Norm says Gini for this current team because it's what is needed. Trap Joe said Bobby or Fab. Red for Life said Fab. Norm says he still thinks we haven't replaced a Gini yet.
We haven't replaced
says Mane adds a lot. Redbird says peak Fabinho.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
I don't know if Baz is saying no way to. Slot
maybe
needs,
Fabinho. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If I had to choose one at the 4, I'd go with Fabinho.
Yeah.
For what we need.
Yeah, for this team, that's the thing.
Yeah.
For this current squad, it makes
perfect sense, that one.
Yeah.
But Bobby as well in this team. Whoa.
Yeah.
So you're talking Bobby over Jota. That's why I'm looking. I'm putting.
Yeah.
Bobby over Jota,
Yeah.
Mane over Diaz,
Mm-hmm.
and Fabinho just in over, well, probably. So you
Gravenberch,
go with, unlucky for a grab maybe, but it would improve the team. I think Jota and Firmino, maybe Jota's a slightly better goal scorer, but Firmino is Bobby. I mean,
Wow.
bring back
There's
the
only one
Bobby.
Bobby. There's only one.
Yeah, bring back the Bobby every day,
Yeah, man.
all day.
What a player.
Ian with the shout there. That's your boy. Brian loves himself. This guy. Yeah.
Titi Kamara.
TT.
Who's Ian talking? Sorry.
You see it?
Oh, I'll bring TT back. Yeah.
TT. Yeah. Bernie says every scenario could work if, and it's a big if, they do well in slots training, but there are some in there talented but inconsistent. Don't hate me, but
Oh, that's on the other thing. That's on
the other one.
the
Okay, my fault.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm not sure that Curtis will improve any further. Okay.
I have to agree with that last sentence.
Ginny was always available. Bonkers. He really was. He was Mr. Consistent.
Yeah.
That's like Camara. Okay,
Mac seems to have a good
there's some Bobbies. Finally, some Bobby shouts, by the way. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. I was going to say, I just had to say, finally some Bobby shouts.
We were all getting Bobby. But Bobby, would you bring Bobby in for this team tomorrow?
I'd bring Bobby back simply for the smile, bro.
No, I mean, but if the question was,
that'd be all vibes. It'd be all vibes.
I know.
Bobby's smile.
Oh, yeah, but that's what we're all, we're all bringing that. But for the question that we were answering, say you have to pick one of them for this team, is Bobby your guy, or just to rack it up there, just to get your one down? Like, who's your guy?
I mean, like, I honestly would bring back Bobby only because Bobby's my favorite player.
I know.
So
but for this,
I'm openly admitting that I have bias. I would pick Bobby because he's one of my favorite players. But I can understand bringing back. Peak Fabinho was a difference maker for us. That was like have that kind of style of destroyer for us. But
it would be tomorrow as well. That's the only, like, if we were to sign a new player tomorrow, we imagine that double signing though.
Yeah.
Doing that on the same, but that's what we need. We need something like that. We need a Fabinho to G people back up again. I mean, a Fabinho type signing where boom, out of nowhere. 2 days from now, we've signed somebody, and it's a big guy. We need.
I did ask this question yesterday, but I'll ask it one more time because it's been growing in. It's actually been growing in the trend because this player is former Liverpool player, but he's also someone that is in kind of in a holding pattern with his current club, and that is.
He's on a naughty step.
Mr.
He's
Sterling.
outside with his bag packed, waiting for an Uber.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Sterling is not able to find his way back into the graces of the Chelsea 11, much less the Chelsea squad at all, really. And has been training alone by himself. Hypothetically, if he were to come back on like bended knee and say, I'll take 140,000 or 150,000. Let's make it 150 because he's making like 350,000. I'm not going to go as far as the 175, but let's say 150,000 a week. Would you be willing to bring in a player that, I mean, you could play. He's played on left and he's played on the right as well. Would you bring Sterling in to bring depth to our squad?
JK, we did it last night. We could, I know that it was a quiet enough last night. So, but we can.
Yeah, for me a big no, bro. Yeah, it's a big no. Even if you play for free, that's how. Even if you paid us to play. Even if you paid us, man, that guy. Like, for me, I'm like this. I'm not very forgiving when it comes to players who want to leave the club. So for me, that's a big no.
Okay. I don't know if Guardiola is. I think that Guardiola's probably taken. He's probably met his
quota
for taking back old players because he just brought back Gundogan. So I think he's at his quota right now. So I don't think he'll be joining him. TK says he'd rather play Doak over Sterling. Wow, that is a shout.
I would.
Really?
Doak's a good little player. He needs game time.
I know Doak's a good player. I do not like Sterling, but I still admit that he's a good player. I admit that, even though I hate to admit it. But dang, that's rough. All right. To each is their own. Just asking. Just a question. Yeah. I see Baz is like, it's a straight no. I see you, brother. I see you.
Bless Baz.
On Sterling. I got you. So we can let's move off of that one then. This will be my last question then. Or last thing I'm going to bring up here. Let me make sure I can bring it up here. Whoops, let me actually do it like this. So this was done by Score 90, and this was a rankings that was brought out. You know how we did our rankings on the show here? We did like the tier rankings, at least when it came to the players. Some of us even put the players in somewhat of like consenting order, with like putting the players that we believed were higher ranked to the left and then putting them going down along that tier. Score 90 picked the top 5 players on Liverpool. These were the top 5 players that they picked. They picked Mo Salah at the number 1 spot. They picked Trent at the number 2 spot. They picked Virgil at the number 3 spot. They picked 4. Wait for it, people. I get it. I'm sure I'm getting a lot of hate on it, but they picked my boy Lucho at number 4, and they picked Ali at number 5. How do you feel about these ratings? This is again, Score 90 is they're on this is like something I follow them actually on X. They have their own little website too. It's basically Score 90 does a lot of rankings. They do like a lot of ranking style, tier style stuff where they'll put like, best players of like a decade, or they'll do best players of a current team, or blah, 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 blah. Right. This was what they came up with for our team. How are you feeling about that? We'll go JK, Irishman, and then we'll end with Lee on this one.
Okay.
Is there anything? What do you feel about this? Is there someone that needs to be replaced? Does someone need to be bumped up or bumped down on this list? What's your take on this one?
I would
tell us in the chat too. If you don't believe that this is the right top 5, you can give us your top 5. Just put them in like the way that TK did, which is like Mo, VVD, Ali, Trent, then Maka. Just give us your top 5 if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, I'm swapping Diaz for Maka. And then I'll put Salah top, Virgil 2nd, Alisson 3rd, Trent 5th, and then McAllister 4th. Yep.
Okay.
That's mine. Yeah.
Okay. Brian?
Yeah, I'm sure the good people at Sports 90, is it?
Score 90.
Score 90. Yeah, I mean, everything is just relative. It's opinion.
It's all relative. That's why we're asking. We're asking your.
It's a decent 5. Maybe the guy who made that list is Colombian. Who knows? Well, hey, you never know.
You never know.
It's a global world.
Yeah.
It's a global world. I don't think
that's probably made
No, but I don't think he's
praise already. He's like, the only reason why
he's
here is maybe because he's Colombian.
No. You said that, not me. But what I'm saying is McAllister has just won the World Cup, and he played an integral part in it. So he is definitely one of our best 5 players. I think he was in everybody's 4. I'd be similar. I think close to what JK did. Salah at the top, then Virgil 2nd, then Trent 3rd, McAllister 4th, and Ali fifth. Yeah, it's not, again, it's not a slide on Lucho at all. It's just I think those are the best because that's we did this tier thing. Yeah, I don't think you can leave Maka out. I mean, the guy was basically one of Argentina's most integral players, one of our best players last season. He has to be in our top 5. So he's the only one. And then Ali definitely goes up 1. Best keeper in the world, like.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Virgil probably above Trent, I think, just on, yeah. Yeah, but that'd be my top 5 anyway.
Okay. What about for you, Lee?
My top 5 would be Virgil.
Well, no. What first? Tell us about this list. Like when you see this list, what comes to mind? Like as in, are you cool with this list, or are you are you outraged by this list?
What's it meant to be? Who's worth the most money, or who's like the most important?
No,
player?
no. They're just saying best player. They're literally just saying
players.
best.
I would say, best. I would say number 1 would be Virgil, Alisson number 2, McAllister number 3, then Salah number 4, then who's the other one? What's he? Trent number 5. I'll let Trent edge in there, like.
Okay.
McAllister should be in there, and for me, Mo's only the 4th most important player now after McAllister, VVZ, and Alisson.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If Mo missed a few games, it wouldn't be as heavy as say if Van Dijk missed the amount of games Mo did because of the AFCON injury, would be in bad shape, whereas different the other way around for me.
Let me bring in the comments I see the comments because the comments I knew as soon as someone saw Lucho in there, I was gonna get pushback. No love.
Well, it's not your list. It's not your list.
Oh, I know it's not my list.
So you're not getting pushed.
We already showed our list.
Yeah,
but I just say,
So. But I'm interested because I was going to say to Ian.
Well, let me before you do. Let me do the chat, and then when I get to his, I'll probably get to his comment. If you're going off his comment, and then you can respond. Let me just get through some.
I've already responded to him because I think the wording is.
Oh, the wording
is, unhelpful.
Okay. Diaz 4th and Ali 5th. Richard asked. Bernie said she'd put Ali over Diaz. Okay. I could live with that. Relay says Mo number 1. TK says Diaz, just question mark. Okay. Rep for Life says Lucho is dope, but not sure about that, meaning I guess his place. Brazi asks, where is Nat Phillips on this list? I don't know. Good question. Bonkers had Salah, Ali, Virgil, Diaz. Salah, Ali, Virgil, Trent, then Diaz for him. Mo needs to be number 1 for sure, says Trap Joe. TK says Mo, VVD, Ali, Trent, and Mac 10. I figured that a lot of people will be putting in Mac 10 as their choices. Let's see. Ali has said this many times when we were not on our game. I agree with that completely, Bernie. I did answer this one, but I'll just say the question out loud. Do stats go into this? Yes, they do. They compile. This isn't just like someone's opinion. This is like, well, technically, it's not just someone's opinion, like him saying, oh, these are my 5 favorite players. But it's Score 90 breaks down like they have algorithms that break down their scores. So that's how they come up with this stuff. Trap Joe said Mo, Maka, VVD, Trent, and then Ali. Wow, Maka is the 2nd best player on our team. That's high praise.
Remember the year in the Champions League, Van Dijk was nominated for the Ballon d'Or. But who was it who won it? Was it Ronaldo or Messi that year when we won the Champions League?
Mm-hmm.
One of them. That was one of them.
Yeah, Van Dijk was nominated for the Ballon d'Or.
He got third. He got third that year.
He got robbed that year. Let's just keep it straight.
He
So
got third.
Diaz has to prove his worth to be in the top 5. That's what Richard's saying. There was a question here. I can ask it this way too. He says, TK's ass says, can you ask it this way? Who can the team cope least without?
Yeah, that's a better way of asking it.
Yeah. Well, Virgil,
I don't know. If you were to say that, I would.
Maka come to mind. Virgil,
This ranking.
come to mind.
This ranking would be different if it's who can the team. Who
No,
can cope.
I'm not saying it's.
If you were to take these 5 players,
they've done their
who can we cope the least without? We're heavy.
No, they've done their thing. They've done their thing. That's I wasn't saying sorry. I didn't mean that's a better way of asking. I'm just saying that's an interesting way of asking.
Mm-hmm.
Like which player could we? Like yeah, because if we woke up tomorrow and someone's out for 6 months, who are we most worried about? I'd say you got to say Ali or Virgil.
But we couldn't cope without
Virgil or Ali would have me worried if we knew they weren't going to be playing till say January or something like that.
But we've actually seen that happen.
I know. I don't want to see it again. That's what I'm saying. I've seen what happens when we can cope with. We have a lot of good attackers and stuff, good midfielders. But yeah, losing a Virgil for a year, I don't want to ever do that again.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to say, if I was ranking them for the players that we could cope the least, that we can cope losing, Virgil would be number 1 on this list.
Yeah, far and away number 1.
Virgil, Ali, Maka, and then I put like Salah and Trent 4th and 5th because
we looked at it earlier.
Ali would be a huge loss. Ali would. Any of these players would be huge losses, I think.
But we looked at it earlier. Who was his backup on that dude's thing?
Mm-hmm.
Who was beside him? Not Phillips.
Yeah,
that was the guy beside Virgil. So if we were to lose VVD, say 2 days after the window closes, and we hadn't brought somebody in, wowzers.
Yeah. No, you're right, and Bernie, you're right. Virgil's stats on winning are amazing. I brought up that incredible stat yesterday, where basically, he.
Fortress Anfield.
Yeah. He's only lost twice at Anfield, basically, in his career.
Rodri is one player that Man City cannot do without, and a crap team without, or a much worse team without anyway, a much less effective team without, and Virgil's are equivalents of that.
And I think, Lee, 12 man, you should have been, I was waiting for you to bring this up. Because it's very much in line with what you've been saying, and you have kind of brought it up. But expanding on, why have they brought back Gundogan? Why have they gone into the market, in the DM market, in that region that we're looking at? And we've all been talking about how hard it is to get a player, and it's been a little bit of a joke. Oh, look at them bringing back this guy. But Lee just mentioned it there. If they were to go without Rodri, he's looked around and going, one of the best in the game right now is still this Gundogan guy.
Mm-hmm.
That you're talking about how hard it is, what the market is like. He's looked around and thought, yeah, I lost Rodri for 3 games last season and we nearly lost the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, what can I do if that happens again? Gundogan can do, I know he could, but Gundogan can do what Pep needs him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Gundogan turned him into an attacking 8 last season at the end, and he scored 8 in 10 or 6. He went stupid on the goals because he just said, Gundogan, your job today is to go forward and get goals. That's the kind of player Gundogan is. He can sit, he can hold, he can pass, he can do everything. And Guardiola's looked around. Oh, but he's looked around in the same market that we're looking at, that holding midfielder, that kind of role, and going, yeah, I need to get Gundo back. And what is he, 33? So that shows you that we are operating, when you're looking at trying to get players at the high level, it is a really thin market. Because otherwise, Man City would have gone out there and bought like some guy called Juan Jesus, and he's the next fucking Rodri. No one's ever heard of him. He bought him for 28 million from, Rayo Vallecano. He's a DM. Who's this guy? Oh, he's the next Rodri. Of course he is. Typical City. He's brilliant from day one. But no, they're going out and they're getting a Gundogan. because he thinks, I think it's showing you that really it's all these names out there. Oh, we get this guy, get that guy. It's a thin market. It really is. Like Varela, who's this guy? We need to get Varela. We need to get Varela.
And you're going to get your pants pulled down over price as well in this market currently. So it's not looking
Shops
like
closing. 5 minutes left, lads. What are you having? Prices are going up. 5 minutes left. If you want to take one of our players that we've already started a league season with in our team as part of our team, do you want to come in? Because it's going to cost you more to break up our team now and give us no time to replace him. It's going to cost you another 20 million.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting. Yep. Shrewd move by Pep getting Gundogan back. That was a very shrewd move. I think City is scared of the 115. That's why they're holding back. Possibly. Very possible. Do you think there was a stat? I know we already spoke on Sterling, but real quick though, I just wanted to ask again. There was a comment. They brought it up where they basically said that it was Judge Mo. I think his name is. I think that's how he goes by, Judge Mo. I subscribe to his channel, so I'm pretty sure that's what the name of his channel is. I want to make sure I give him proper due. But he says that Raheem Sterling is the most overrated player in Premier League history. He says the most overrated left winger in Premier League history. I know we don't rate him, but isn't that going a little too far? I mean,
no, goals and assist wise, he's up there. When you look at his goal involvement, he's up there. So you know what I mean? You don't become a bad player overnight, So I think sometimes like his choice, he went to Chelsea, he's getting top pay, so he's probably just gone for the money. They've changed their manager about 10 times in the time he's been there, you know what I mean? So how's he meant to concentrate on football as well? So for me, he's like, get away. If a club don't want you, leave, Even if you're going to get like half, even less than half what you're getting now.
I was wondering. I just thought that was kind of rough. That was kind of like sensationalizing something to where.
Yeah, very much.
Mental from Judge Mo, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's too much.
Sterling is. I mean, if you were to show a non-judgmental, non-Liverpool fan Raheem Sterling's numbers and stats and take away his name, they would say that player is elite because he is elite. Yeah, his attacking movement is elite. His finishing, his ability to score is elite.
He's ranked as being one of the top 10. He's one of the top 10 wingers in Premier League history.
Yeah, he is clearly. I can be dispassionate about. Yeah, I can be dispassionate about football. I can be passionate about football, and I can be dispassionate about football. And sometimes you need to be dispassionate about football, otherwise you end up talking absolute nonsense.
But that's what Judge
Raheem
said.
Sterling.
I wanted to make sure I quoted him right. He says he was one. He is. Wait, let me make sure. I'll bring aside the quote. He's the most overrated player ever in the history of the Premier League. That's what Judge Mo had to say.
Yeah. Well, Judge Mo.
Judge Mo, you need to watch a little more Premier League.
Yeah, I don't think he's really watched much of the old football.
Yeah, he must not have been watching much Premier League history. Premier League.
No,
that's just wild to say. I do not like Sterling, but I wouldn't go as far as to say he's the most overrated player in Premier League history.
But that's completely different as well, though. You have to, you just said two different things. You just said you don't like him. That's fine. Don't have to like him.
Yeah.
Nobody has to like a player. You said you don't like him. That's personal.
No, see, Brian. All right, so let me bring.
No, but I'm just saying. I'm not criticizing what you said.
Let me land my point.
No, I'm not criticizing what you said.
I said that when you don't like a player, you can sometimes allow for your biases to affect your opinions.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. No, I wasn't criticizing what you said. That's what I was saying. That's exactly the point. Sometimes you can say, I don't like a player. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But you can still say he's a good player. That's
Yeah.
what you just say. I don't like him. Cool.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's fine. You can come out like someone like Judge fucking, I don't know, BJ or whatever his name is. Can just come out and do a big rant. I don't know what his name is, right? Just come out and say he hates him. Do a big rant and say he hates him. That'd be cool. Cool. Yeah, you hate him and call him a snake and a rat and all that. But to come out and say he's an absolutely terrible footballer, I mean, come on. You know, you got to give yourself some credit. Like, just go on a rant about how much you hate the guy. That'd be cool. Have fun with it. But to say he's an awful player, I mean, you know, then that's obviously, you know, you're feeling very emotional about it. But like, if he had stayed at Liverpool and put up those kind of numbers, I mean, he's I think he's very misunderstood. I think this guy's life was destroyed by the British tabloid press for about 4 years, and for one reason and for one reason only. And I'm not going to go into that because it's not my place to talk on it. But he was destroyed, eviscerated, and attacked by the tabloid media in England. They tried to kill this kid, basically, and he didn't let him. So as far as I'm concerned, he made a horrible decision. He was badly advised by his agent, who was an absolute clown. Now, yeah, he shouldn't have said what he said about us, but he was about 21. Look, he's had his issues, but I'll stand by Raheem Sterling all the time because of the genuine hate that he gets. People go, "Oh, why did Diaz hate?" No Diaz hate. I just think McAllister is slightly better than him in a tier list. That's not hate. What the tabloid media did to Sterling in England, that's hate, and I'll stand up against that.
There's a rumor out there right now circulating that Arsenal are going to make a bid, not even a bid because there's a release clause, obviously, but they're going to make a bid to the player. Again, this is a funny one. They're going to try to go for Nico Williams, apparently. That's the rumor. Now, A, does Nico Williams make them the odds-on favorite and bring them a title? Or B, you can tell us the likelihood of that actually even happening. Lee, we'll go Lee, Irishman, and then JK this time. Lee, what's your assessment of that? Would you fear Arsenal if they were to bring in a Nico Williams? In essence,
no, because it's not going to happen. There, I'll say it as plainly as that. It isn't going to happen. So I'm not fearing something that isn't going to happen.
He technically hasn't told them no, but that's the rumors out there is that Nico Williams is someone that they would like to pursue. I mean, who wouldn't like to pursue that player?
Well, exactly, yeah.
How about for you, Brian? When you heard that, what did you think?
Well, I just thought our guy. I still think our guy, our fullback that went to Forest. Every time someone says Nico Williams, I still immediately think of him first. And then it's like Arsenal going for Nico Williams. Different, but that guy, he's turned around and told everybody. And he turned down Barcelona. He's not going to go to Arsenal, surely. But they got Marino today. I mean, that's a bit of a. I don't know. They got the Sociedad defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
Did they go back and get Nico Williams? I don't. I wouldn't like to see that happen. No, I don't. Like Arsenal are one of those teams that I just want to see kind of just fuck off, kind of
burn.
I don't like them being around. Really, I don't like their fans. I don't like their manager. They're not Chelsea, but they're one of those teams that when they were really, really down in the doldrums, pretended to be kind of pro-Liverpool because they're trying to piggyback off us by being anti-City and anti-Chelsea or whatever, by being, good on Liverpool. If someone has to win the league this year and it isn't us, I hope it's Liverpool. You got a lot of that from Arsenal fans when they had no chance of winning. They were finishing 7th if they were lucky, kind of stuff. And then the second they looked like they were anyway decent, they just turned on us like they were like, get back in your box, Liverpool fans. We're back.
They turned on us.
Forget.
Like,
we're
like
back now. It's like, whoa, where the hell did this come from? You know, because I'm like, so Arsenal fans these days, man.
That's the one thing. That's one of the most annoying things about Arsenal. Yeah, one of the most annoying things about Arsenal these days is that they'll sit there and they'll tell you about Arteta, and they'll tell you about they'll give you tips on how to win the league, and they'll tell you tips about what it is to be like the elite club. And I'm sitting there going like, wait a minute, aren't you?
We wrote
like
the book
2 decades past winning the league now.
Yeah.
Like it's been like 2 decades since you won the league. What are you talking about?
Arsenal fans telling Liverpool fans how to go toe to toe with City because they did it once. We wrote the book on that, and we finished it. We beat them. And they were acting like, hey, look, look, what Liverpool fans need to understand is, it's hard to go toe to toe with City. It's like, hang on, who the what?
Yes.
What have we been doing for the last 7 years?
Yeah,
if it wasn't for us, you'd be looking at 8 straight City leagues by 20 points.
Yeah.
Every single season.
That's the facts, for real.
Yeah. I think Arsenal fans are they're sitting outside. They're sitting outside looking in. Us guys are Man City. We've got 6 Champions Leagues, and them guys are just looking in. That's all they do. Arsenal never win the Champions League. For me, that's enough. They don't need to talk.
They haven't.
They've no history.
I wanted to against Barcelona in 2006 for Wenger because I liked Wenger as a man and as a manager. I wanted it for him, not necessarily for Arsenal, the club, but it did that. Off like a bloody lemon, didn't he?
I just thought that was so funny. They got like the goal, like it was that Barcelona dream team kind of, and the goal that beat them was Alaguer, a freaking no name right back type guy.
Right.
Even for me, Lee, I didn't want them to win that one. No, I don't want them to win a European Cup because I want to be always say you don't even have one.
You don't have a European Cup, yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have one.
Right. I don't even want to see them win Europa, much less.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that now. It was only because I liked Wenger, and at the time it would have annoyed United and Chelsea as well, which is always a good thing. But I wouldn't want it now.
Mm-hmm. So this is funny. Good old Arsenal. Man. But oh man, that's where it is today. Friday. It's something of the weekend's here. We're gonna have a preview of our Anfield opener tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about that. It's an opportunity to kind of like we're really getting back into the season. It's like I'm in agreement with Norm and with others in the chat saying, I would like to get past this whole like who we're bringing in, who we're not bringing in stage.
Oh yes, please.
Oh yeah, I've had enough. I had enough of this.
It's just I'm done with it. I just want to I kind of want to get on with our business of trying to bring in some silverware and make the most of this season by enjoying it with you guys and girls in the chat and on the panel here. And
mainly for the mental health. I think mainly for the mental health of some other YouTubers that are out there. I think this season, this transfer window needs to end because, they are melting. People are out there melting down all over the place.
Right, exactly. So that's what it is. But we'll have a preview tomorrow. We'll go through our lineup predictions. We'll also go through score predictions and the likes. Yeah. Oh, I bet, Ian. That'll be great.
Nice one, Ian. Hey, Ian. Any photos, man? Don't forget, take a few pics on the way, and you can send them to 12 Man's Twitter.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool to see, especially from what would you call it, a bird's eye view, or a fly on the wall kind of view. So
Yeah,
make
that'd be
sure
really cool.
any cool pics, and we'll put them up. We'll show them on the show, man.
Yeah, it's always fun to like be able to live vicariously through another, or just to like share the experience with others. Certainly, and for those of us that don't have the opportunity to do what you're about to do, Ian, and what you're about to do, Norm, definitely share it with your brothers and sisters here, because
Yeah, nice one.
it would definitely be nice to see that you're taking in something that we all would love to take a part of. So, and
we can all look
happy
at
that
the pictures. They all show the same pictures on Sky and all that, but pictures from the fans in the middle of it are always better.
that's quality. Yeah, that's the quality that I like to see. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about before we bounce out here? I mean, we're a little shy of the 2-hour mark here.
Yeah, we're coming in early tonight, actually, aren't we?
Yeah.
Streamlining it.
Yeah. JK, you got anything that you want to speak on, or
No, just looking forward to the game Sunday. I'm not sure if we will buy anyone. I think Vandenberg's left now as well, so that's sort of 3 guys gone.
Yeah.
So that's a done deal there. So we've got the money in to get that one guy. That what we normally do is get rid of 2 and buy 1. So hopefully they'll get someone in now, because the sales are done. So I'm just looking forward to the game Sunday, bro.
You're still hopeful, though. You're still thinking we'll get one done. You're not thinking it's.
I think they'll get one done.
A lot of people are right.
I just feel, yeah. It'll be one guy. I'm not sure who. I'm not including the goalkeeper, that Georgian goalkeeper.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
No, me neither. No, me neither.
So
What?
for me, 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're sure.
And press the like for 12 man as well.
I don't understand why.
Midfield.
Why
Midfield.
nobody wants to include the Georgian?
No. It's not that we're including. No, it's just because he won't join this year. That's all we're saying. That's all it is. No, we're not saying we don't care. No.
And because he's a goalkeeper, I don't.
No. I saw. No, I mean, like, that's what I remember, because Barnes put it that way too. He's like, I'm not including the Georgian because he's a goalkeeper, and I'm like,
well, no. I'm assuming it's because he's not come. No,
I mean, like when Ali came to the team, did you not consider that an acquisition?
Well,
what I mean?
No, because every team needs a goalkeeper.
Right.
So it's a formality for me. I don't really include goalkeepers.
I get what Barnes is saying. Yeah, I get what Barnes is saying. He means an outfield player, basically.
Right. He just means an outfield player. That's
but but the fact that he's also not going to be at the club kind of rules it out. But just So no, but I was in JK. You think it's going to be a midfielder?
Yeah, hopefully. Because that's what we need.
Not a defender.
Not a defender, bro. I think Gomez staying. It looks like he will stay, so that's a good thing. But I just feel like we just need a solid defender, a DM,
midfielder. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm still on the 1. I think we're going to get 1 done, but I think it might be a defender more. But it's all quiet on the Western Front. It's so quiet. It really
is. I mean, I do like the player. I'm starting to like the player because we have a relationship with the team, or with the club, and because we do have a need that is starting to grow in the position, and because he is a talented player. I'm looking at Mohamed Samakin as a possible player that we do bring in. I don't know if that's a name that necessarily gets people like,
Oh, that's the guy you brought up last.
Yeah,
wasn't? Yeah, the guy you were talking about at Red Bull. Is it?
RB we love doing us a deal with RB. RB has a very good relationship with us, so I can see something like that happen.
We could let Gomez, or even letting Simicast go as well. Like, if somebody would have to be coming in, wouldn't they? Like, we can't just be letting players like that go. It's one thing letting Bobby Clark go and Harvey Blair, but it's another thing letting players like Gomez and Simicast go if we don't replace them. That's
right.
That's what I was saying earlier on. I was really cool with the kind of the new broom, kind of idea with non-playing people. Once the likes of the Carvalho, Van der Bergs, Whoever. But once it starts getting to the point where, hang on, we're selling guys that were in the first team squad last season,
Yeah.
and that is definitely a different scenario.
Joe made so many appearances last season. If he was gone,
he was my player of the season. Until
he was most players' player of the season, I think.
Yeah.
Like it was the
until
same
around May or not May.
choice.
Yeah, on the second half of the season when Endo stepped up, McAllister was really, really good. He really kind of impacted. But I thought if it wasn't for Gomez up until January, we would have been maybe 2 or 3 positions lower. So I think, I thought he should have been. I said it around that time. I said he should win player of the year, but he won't. But just off the back of those, like, oh, someone's injured, don't worry, Joe comes in, does the job.
Do you think there was some reason that he wasn't in the squad for the Ipswich game that wasn't announced?
Oh yeah, he was. No, it was leaked that basically we had said if a club wants to buy you, we're prepared to sell you, so we're going to leave you out of the squad. So basically, you don't get injured, and you can negotiate a deal and he had said that he was happy to talk to another club if we got the money that we wanted, kind of thing. So
who's this for?
For Joe, why he was left out of the squad for the week, it was kind of like put up that it might be that he was left out in case basically there was
there was other reasons for that though. There's other reasons for that. It wasn't just
but that was also one of but it was sort of in case. Basically,
I don't know. I get what you're saying, and certainly that's.
But that was the announcement. Sorry, no, but that was
I
think that was the Romano thing that I saw, was that he was left out because transfer stuff, basically, in case.
Right, but it was put out there. It was just reported that the reason why, and I think actually Slot said it himself, the reason why he was left out of the squad was because of what was the exact words he used? He's basically saying that Joe isn't necessarily match day fit right now, and that it was because of his work. They called it load, the workload that he has, was something of the reason why they didn't call him up as well. That was what Slot.
But he said, she said, that's what's coming out.
I mean, that's what's. I'm just saying what the coach said. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, no, that's interesting to see how that ends up.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of given, as it were. That
I mean, what you're saying does make sense, and it's definitely something that is viable.
Oh, no, it's not.
But I'm just telling you that Slot said it wasn't simply because he was like, oh, he's out of the team, and we're trying to find him. He said that it was because of his workload, and that they wanted to give him a rest and wanted to properly give him some time to get to the match fitness.
Yeah, see, that's contradicting.
Traptro says Gomez wasn't basically fit. Yeah. So
but he was at the Euros, so they were coming out and saying.
Well, it was because of the Euros. That's what they're saying.
No, but what I'm saying is like I'm not saying anyone is wrong, but like I'm just saying what I didn't say what I said because I know it. It's just what I read. So obviously, like the first story came out was that he was left out because we were prepared to listen to offers, and he was prepared to move if we got. So now you've got the different story that's coming out. So I'm only literally just like I'm reading what you're reading. So it's like that's what.
Right. None of us have like an inside guy or something like that. It wasn't like I talked to Joey yesterday on the phone or something. No. I'm not giving any Fabrizio exclusives. I'm just saying what the report had.
But do you remember what I was saying last night was that I'm all fine with this if we've set up a scenario where Joe is saying, okay, look, if you're prepared to let me go if an offer comes in, but if that offer doesn't come in, the relationship hasn't been broken and he can come back into the team. Do you remember? That's what I was talking about. It's fine. That's okay. It's like, look, Joe, if an offer comes in and you want to do it, we'll do it. But no one is kicking you off the team and making you train on a pitch on your own and stripping you of your number and that kind of stuff. It's like, well, look, if it doesn't quite work out, you can still. You can
always come home. You can always come home. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to keep that relationship solid. Like we haven't done a Chelsea, and basically, he wakes up and there's a tweet saying he's available.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
I think that's, if anything.
No, I think we're handling it right.
I think it's, if anything, Slot saying what he said was basically just making that runway back to the player returning to the team available.
Because me with my cynical hat on, because we haven't had an offer. Right, that's me with my cynical hat on. It's saying, well, we haven't had the offer, so we've left it. That's what I said was really important, was to leave the door open.
We've had offers, but we haven't had the offer.
The offer. Yeah, the
right.
offer. Yeah. So as long as he can come back and he doesn't feel like he was about to be kicked out, and then, oh, well, no one bought you, so we may as well keep you. Oh, here's a shirt. It needs to be done really well. It needs to be handled properly. And it just doesn't look. I think maybe at this stage, if a Villa or a Newcastle or something like that was going to get a Gomez deal done, I think it might have happened by now. So I think this is saying that he will be staying, basically.
Okay. Well, Lee, is there anything you wanted to speak on before we bounce out here?
Yeah, forward to Arsenal and Aston Villa tangling. That should be a good game. Hope Villa do us a favour there.
Oh yeah. Look at the.
Is that tomorrow? Is it?
Yeah, that is tomorrow.
Emery had Arteta's number last season, didn't he? He got one over on him, like.
Right. I don't think is there a game? There's no game tonight, obviously. So.
No, they just did the old Friday night kickoff. I think there's 3 in a season, Friday nights.
Mm-hmm.
It was last year, anyway. There was 3 or something like that. It's between 3 and 5. It's very minimal.
So tomorrow is Brighton, Man U, or Man U at Brighton, I should say. Tomorrow is West Ham at Palace, Leicester at Fulham, Ipswich travels to City, Forest at Southampton, which will probably be the Premier League game of the week. That's a joke, obviously. And then Everton travel to Spurs, and then the big game on the docket, last game of Saturday, will be Arsenal versus Villa, and Arsenal travel to Villa.
Villa winning that.
Villa Arsenal, yeah.
Villa are very difficult at home. Very difficult at home.
Yeah, I think last season they lost to them twice. Villa, Arsenal lost to Villa, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean, look, Arsenal's definitely going to look at that game as trying to be a game that they don't overlook, I'm sure, because if they can get that win, that'll be very, very big for them. Very big. But I'd like to see Villa obviously win that over. If I'm picking out the two, I'm picking Villa over Arsenal all day, every day. But yeah, it should be some good games, good games for that. And then on Sunday, there's only 3 games for Sunday. We're the late game, if you want to put it that way. Bournemouth hosts Newcastle. Wolves host the Blues, host Chelsea, and Brentford obviously travels to Liverpool. So should be good. Should be good. All right, people, we're going to push out here because we have a big weekend planned. We definitely have things to do, people to see, the whole 9. But if anything, some of the most important people that we wanted to see were you in the chat, and I'm glad and appreciative that you showed us love by showing up today, giving us your time, sharing your time, and kind of going over some fun scenarios, whether it's your top 5s or whether it's who do you bring back in their prime type questions, to just talking about in general what's going on with the state of the club. Some really good conversation today, and I appreciate the panel for being a part of it, and I appreciate the chat, very, very deeply appreciate the chat for you being a part of it as well. So we will be back tomorrow. We could do tomorrow at same time, obviously same time, same place. But we'll be back at I believe 7:30 tomorrow. Is the time we're going to kick off. So be sure to have your ticket for the Liver Bird. And yeah, you guys want to say goodbye to the people real quick?
See you later.
See you later, guys.
JK?
Peace, boys.
Okay, good. All right, just making sure. All right, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care and be safe out there. And as always, up the Reds, people. Up the Reds.